Hey, this is Josh Hyman from Sci-Fi Productions. Excited to check out solid body versus hollow body today. And there's some videos out there, but I really wanted to focus on what exactly makes it sound different, right? Because some of the videos you'll see where they're playing like a Strat, and then they play like a 335 or fully hollow body like jazz box. And there's so many differences, right? The pickups are totally different, the strings are totally different. So of course, being it solid or hollow will make a difference, but I really tried to narrow in today and make it more specific. So what we're gonna do is two different guitars. This is a PRS SC 58, I think it's a 2012, it's totally stock. It's basically their take on a Les Paul. Specs are pretty similar to a Les Paul, obviously two humbuckers, same controls. The neck is slightly shorter, I believe. But we're gonna compare it to a PRS Hollowbody I think this is a 2008. So one reason I wanted to do this video is, I'll try and put them side by side. They are very, very similar in size, and they have the same exact pickups. So both guitars have 5708 pickups. A lot of videos I see, it's hard to do a comparison when you have different pickups on the guitars. That obviously changes a lot. But same, mahogany body, maple top. The thickness is similar. The hollow body it'll be hard to see on the video, but you can probably see it there. The hollow body is a little bit thicker, but essentially they're both like Les Paul shapes, almost the same exact size, same woods, same pickups. This one is fully hollow. It's one reason I looked for one. I wanted a fully hollow guitar that was a little bit smaller of a shape. So 335s are great. I find this a little bit more comfortable. And at some point I'll do a full review on, well, really both these guitars, but I love it. But especially this one, because I kind of use it in a special way that I think is kind of cool. But what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna keep things totally dry. So I'm not gonna add, I thought about it, but I'm not gonna add reverb or any kind of pedals in front. I'm just gonna go straight in. I'm gonna play the same kind of chord or riff on each pickup, okay? I'm also gonna keep everything on 10. So the controls are a little bit different on these guitars. This just has some master volume and tone. This guitar I can actually split the pickups, which I'm not gonna do because I'm not able to do on that one. So to make everything as fair and equal and everything else as possible, I'm gonna just do the neck, the two blended together, and just the bridge and everything on 10. So even when I'm on this SC58, I'm not doing any knobs, right? I'm not tweaking anything, right? Everything's on 10. Everything's running behind me into a Fender Bassman Reissue. It's the 4x10. Not touching any, volume, EQ. I'm kind of EQing the amp how I usually have it, and I'm just plugging in, recording, and going, okay? So I'm not sitting here and trying to make each guitar sound as good as it could. In different videos, I'll do that because I love these guitars. So, I'll probably do a video where I just show you how I really like to use this guitar and that guitar. And of course, that would involve adding like some reverb, compression, and pedals and all that stuff. But in this pedal, I just want to focus on how much difference does it actually make if your guitar is hollow versus solid. So without further ado, let's check it out. All right, hopefully you enjoyed that. Just wanted to give us some initial kind of feedback and takeaways. Some of it I kind of expected, and some of it maybe was a little different than what you expected or even I expected. The biggest thing I'd say is this: when you have a solid body, it's a more balanced and kind of direct sound. It's why it makes more sense for most circumstances, I'd say, like recording, obviously rock bands, not all blues bands, but a lot of blues bands. It's more focused, okay? So you're gonna get, when you're recording, it's a smaller range, like the bass isn't quite as loud. I find the treble's a little bit less harsh. It's a little more focused on the mids. And again, it's just a little bit smaller of a spectrum. So it's a little easier to kind of dial it in, and it's gonna sit in the mix. I didn't do any distortion on this video. Same kind of thing. Both these guitars actually sound quite good distorted, but when you go to the Hollowbody, you really have to change the settings to get it to work with distortion. Then it starts being not as good of a comparison. So I just kept this one totally dry. When you switch to the Hollowbody, significantly, definitely more bass, which I think is the first thing most people think of with the difference with a Hollowbody and solid body, excuse me. More bass. Somewhat surprised, I found it to be more trebly too. It's a little more bassy, it's a little more trebly. It's a much bigger range. So, you know, you have a lot of lows, some mids, you have a lot of highs. Again, a broader spectrum, whereas your solid body is a little bit more focused. And I think that's gonna work better in a lot of circumstances. One thing I found, I guess a little bit surprising, like I use this for a lot of jazz gigs, I use it for my jazz fusion gigs. I think a lot of times you see a Hollowbody, you think warmer and jazzier, right? Okay, if I want a little bit warmer of a jazzier sound, I'll do a Hollowbody. Now it is more bassy, but I actually found, in a way, I think the solid body is almost a little more mellow sounding. It's more mid-focused. It almost sounded a little bit less punchy and, again, just more focused. So I found that kind of interesting, as a lot of times I actually found this guitar to be a little bit brighter in the comparison. And I should note, this guitar has 11s, the other guitar has 10s, which doesn't make a huge difference, but obviously there's a little bit of a difference there. Some of what I like about the Hollowbody is that you kind of get that nice, airy, acoustic-y sound. So I really like it when I'm playing with horns in a horn section. I feel like it mixes a little bit better. And I like that aspect of it, especially in a jazz setting. Some of the airiness is kind of funny. I feel like it doesn't always pick up as well in the recording as I thought it would. So when I'm playing, I feel like I hear more of the difference than in the recording. You can definitely hear it in the recording, some of that airiness, the kind of air, and you know, this, I'm not doing a good job of explaining it, but again, it just sounds a little bit more airy as opposed to a solid body. But I feel like that affects my playing more. It doesn't come out as much on the recording as I thought it might have. And again, some of the stuff I found surprising was just that at times I almost thought the solid body sounded more what you think of as jazzy. It almost sounded warmer, where again, with your Hollowbody, you had like a lot of lows and then some highs. Now I really hope in the future, I'm definitely gonna demo probably both of these guitars. This guitar in particular can sound really good distorted. I thought about putting some distortion on this demo, but again, I wanted to keep this one bare bones. If I have a solid body guitar and made it hollow, what would it sound like? And this isn't perfect, but it's a pretty good comparison. Again, these guitars are almost the same width, same wood, same pickups. You can do your research on these PRS 5708 pickups. I love them, they're probably my favorite humbuckers. If you read some reviews, people will say that sometimes they sound pretty different from model to model. I will say I own two guitars with them, they both sound great. If you have experience with the 5708 pickups, please feel free to comment. I don't know how true that is. meaning like every time they make it, they're not as consistent with how they sound. I can tell you they both sound great. But anyways, if you have any feedback, let me know. So that's it. Again, this is Josh Hyman. If you have any comments, please let me know. Please subscribe. Some cool videos coming on the way, some gear. I have some new songs coming out. And again, I'll probably feature both these guitars coming up soon because I really love them. And I'll do a video where it's more focused on like me using my favorite settings with each guitar. So again, this video is not about me showing off how good these two guitars sound, because I could have made them sound a lot better in a lot of different ways. But this was just, okay, get an amp on a setting, don't change anything, don't fix anything, you know, just play the two back to back. How much does the hollow body or solid body really affect the sound? So let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.